function level called collect, toggle, and repeat, you're going to have your first chance to name your function and code your function. When we're creating functions, we want to start looking for patterns in the puzzle. We also want to start looking for code or commands that I can use over and over again. Sometimes I like to think about creating a function is a lot like adding a new tool to my toolbox. I'm creating this function in the hopes that I can use it again and again and again. And a lot of times looking for patterns can really help. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this level and I'm going to kind of draw a couple patterns that I notice right away, and maybe that'll help me create a function. So I'm going to take a screenshot and I am going to annotate or draw on that screenshot, and I think this is going to help me create my function and something that I can use with my character over and over again. So I notice right away, the very first thing my character is going to do is move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. And take a look at where my character is. When my character is lined up right here, I'm facing that gem, I'm one space away. My commands would be move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. Well, let's say my character was hanging out right here and I was facing the I was facing the direction of the gem. Well, my character would move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. So that's the exact same pattern that we saw in the first row of move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. Well, let's keep going. Let's say my character was hanging out right here and I was facing this direction towards the gem. I would move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch, just like I did in rows 1 and 2. And then if I was all the way over on the last one up here in the top left corner and I was facing that gem, I would move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. So I see a pattern here, and I'm going to get rid of this screenshot. I see a pattern where I am going to move forward, and I'm going to put this down in my function real quick so I can start coding. So I would be, for every pattern that I've seen so far, I would move forward, collect gem, move forward, toggle switch. Now remember, this is not my coding area. This is where I'm naming and creating functions. Well, I actually skipped the naming function part, so let's name it. And this is where we want to come up with a name that makes sense. It's related to something that we're doing. Well, I think I'm going to name this one, how about Gem Switch? I think that's a decent name because if I ran this function, I would be collecting a gem and toggling a switch. So in my head, Gem Switch makes sense. You'll notice that I did not capitalize the first letter. I did not create a space in between these two words, and I capitalized the first letter of the second word. This is called camel case, and it's what I'm going to be using when I'm coding. So now that I've named this and I've coded it, if I hit run my code, nothing would happen because I have to start giving those directions here. So I am going to start coding. Now I could tell my character, well, move forward, collect gem, and move forward, toggle switch. But I don't need to do that because I've already created a function that tells me this exact same thing. So I'm going to delete these commands, and instead of putting them individually, I can just run gem switch. And since I named the function, it is now in my keyboard commands. So I'm going to say gem switch, and let's run my code. So here goes my character. I'm going to get the gem, move forward, toggle the switch. Fantastic. Now let's get my character set up so that way my character is hanging out right here and is facing the gem. because as soon as my character is one space away and facing the gem, I know that I can run my function gem switch again. So I'm going to move forward and then turn left. I believe I'm facing the gem in the right spot, so I'm going to run gem switch again. Let's hit run my code. All right, so far so good. I've completed half of the level. In my function, I've run it 2 times, and it's helped me get the gem and turn on that switch. So let's get my character right here on the corner facing the gem, and then I can run my function again. It looks like I need to move forward, and then turn left. That should put me here facing the gem, and I can run gem switch again. I'm going to go ahead and speed up my code and make sure that I did this correctly. So here comes function number 1, function number 2, and let's run that function one more time, function number 3. Super close to being done. Let's get my character all lined up, ready to go. I need to be right here facing the gem. So let's go ahead and move forward, turn left, and I am going to run gem switch one final time. Let's check it out and see if I completed the level. And I was able to complete that level using a function 4 different times. This is very helpful because let's think about this. I ran gem switch once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. If I would have skipped that function part, I would have ended up writing this 4 separate times in my code. So I essentially replaced 16 lines of code. 4 of these times 4 is 16. I replaced 16 lines of code with 4 lines of code. So in this particular instance, I cut my workload down by 75%. Let's take a look at the next level.